It's a beautiful afternoon here in Fairfield, Connecticut as you're watching a presentation of the Stag Sports Network. Fairfield men's lacrosse trying to bounce back after a loss last Saturday to Drexel, take on Stony Brook University, who they themselves are trying to come back after a loss last week. But with this being the halfway mark of CAA play, wins are crucial as we head into April. Hey everybody, alongside Brindley Anderson, I'm JJ Duke, and Brindley, it's really a postseason type of a game for both of these teams. Win at all costs.
Both teams coming off of losses to those top two teams in the CAA at the moment, Towson and Drexel. Both teams trying to get that coveted second win in the CAA and avoid going 1-2 to start conference play.
Take a look at our players to watch. Both are attackers for the squads, and first for Stony Brook, the junior, Colin Williamson.
Williamson, the junior attacker, leading the Seawolves offense with 16 goals and 23 points. He had 2 goals and 3 assists in that loss to Towson a week ago.
On the opposite side for Fairfield University, a steady senior for the Stags is Jake Gilbert.
Jake Gilbert scored a season-high 3 goals against Drexel in that loss, a player who adds another dimension for this Stags offense with his ability to not only dodge 1v1 but work off ball.
You know, that performance from Gilbert in recent weeks, not just last week, has got to be something that will fuel this Fairfield offense. And speaking with head coach Andrew Baxter, he's still pressing that this group is searching for that complete 60-minute performance. They've had good moments over the course of the first half of the season. Probably their best and most complete game, you'd have to look back to their Providence game, despite just the 8-goal output. But they're coming into this one against a Stony Brook team that, before that loss against Towson, they were winners of 4 straight games, also competitive in losses to Sacred Heart and Rutgers, who were nationally ranked at the time. So this is one of those, you learn about yourself type of a game and learn how to deal under pressure, knowing that postseason berths are at stake, especially for the Stony Brook team that missed the postseason each of the last 2 seasons. Fairfield have been so close to getting to that conference tournament final after a long absence from the CAA tournament between 2018 to 2023. Goalies touch gloves, were just about ready to go here. This is the second game of a doubleheader for Fairfield lacrosse. It was Fairfield women earlier, knocking off Canisius by 12 goals to 9 in a battle of unbeatens in the MAC. No Daniel Davis for Fairfield today, so Jonathan Lewis is going to be taking a good portion of the faceoffs. He'll be going up against Robbie Smith, one of the top faceoff men in CAA lacrosse. In fact, Smith, couldn't believe when I actually typed this out, facing off at 73%. Doesn't take all the faceoffs, but when he's on, he stays hot. But it is Lewis that wins the first faceoff for Fairfield. He'll go straight for goal into the alley for Devin Lamprin. And now Fairfield can set up their offense. They'll be going up against Tommy Wilk in between the posts for Stony Brook, the senior from Baltimore, with the goals against at 10.9, but a 53 save percentage. Lewis is elected to stay out, and a turnover comes. Fairfield are trying to manipulate the sub game, but it doesn't work in their favor. But a big stick check from Julian Radosic knocks it loose. And before the shot went in, it's a hold on Stony Brook. We go the other way.
Just 30 seconds into this game, already 2 turnovers.
And a very frenetic start to this game as well.
We see both offenses eager to go quickly.
Fairfield will just settle in. This Fairfield team, the top scoring team in the conference at 13 goals per game. Stony Brook, though, they allow less than 11, which is right around the middle of the conference. Here's Rob Moore, the graduate student, going underneath into the alley for Jeremiah Wade. Dodges outside and puts it wide of the mark. It's a Fairfield team that just really relies on volume of shots. First in CAA at 41 per game. But the shooting percentage has not risen in the same direction. It's just hovering at that 32 mark. As Consoli dodging one-on-one. That's easy for Wilk. And here come the Seawolves as Will Burney leading the numbers. It's a 4-on-3. Burney on his own over the bar. First sighter for Landon Whitney in goal today, the junior from Georgia. Anthony Gallardi's team entering today's action, averaging 40 shots per game. They do share the rock a bit as well, about 5 assists as a team. About half of their goals will be assisted. Bernie gets loose, saved by Whitney. And that was a really tough one for the first. Oh, he nearly actually put it into his own net, but still gets it to a teammate.
We've seen that goalie battle for Fairfield. Landon Whitney playing the whole game against Drexel, made 8 saves in that one.
That's coming after Owen Hirsch started the majority of the games in the early season. Coach Baxter going with Whitney today, though the belief is that if things get out of hand, Hirsch will be likely ready to go. Will Consoli coming off the field. So a mixture of the units right now for Fairfield offensively. Justin Brown in on this set alongside John Akupski. Wilk last week made a dozen saves in that loss to Townsend, who are absolutely going right through Drexel to start this game. It was 4-0 after 5 minutes down in the state of Maryland. Jake Gilbert at GLE. Gilbert having a fine season at 24 points. Down to 10 on the shot clock. More beautiful separation. Lamperin try to swim past a defender, and he still scores. What a finish from Devin Lamperin. Gave the goalie the eyes and went down low.
Devin Lamperin not sure how he got this shot off, and then not sure how he scored it, was able to get it past the goalie. I think he could have taken the initial shot on the 2-man. Rob Moore drew both defenders, and then it's Lamperin just around the defense, no angle.
It's one of those box-type finishes that you don't often see in outdoor lacrosse. And a violation on Smith will give Fairfield back the possession. Fairfield again going to look to go quickly. Here's Jason LeMay back into the lineup. He, amongst a number of Fairfield players, been banged up over the last couple of weeks. Lamperin, that's a wise take from him, knowing that he's got the defenders around him, but the goalie was off-sided. Just find a way to put something towards cage. Into the alley for Luke Patchen, freshman from Fayetteville, New York. Now to Lamperin in the alley. Splits a pair, kept it on, shot wide, but stays with Fairfield, and Gilbert at X. Lamperin try to go across the seam, and that is over the mark. We'll be back over to Stony Brook. It's been frenetic. It hasn't quite been fluid, but Fairfield have had the majority of the possession here in the first few minutes. And the Stags are able to set up their 10-man. And Wilk just sends that straight into a delighted Fairfield bench. And that's one of those that when you put the 10-man up and you force an errant pass from the goalie, you're going to celebrate that like you just scored one.
Both teams coming off losses. See both offenses eager to get going here.
As Fairfield still playing the sub game. Moore. Consoli had to stretch out to take that pass in from Colin Kenny. Goes over Akupski on the pass. Lamperin able to recover. Akupski. Consoli gives it back, and Akupski's denied. What a save from Wilk. And Fairfield able to get the ground ball, but Tommy Wilk having to readjust on the fly to kick that away.
It was a great save from Wilk. A good opportunity for this Fairfield offense. They found a slip in the defense. Let's
force a couple of really creative takes from the Fairfield attackers. Akupski gets a big hit thrown on him, but he's able to get the GB and find a teammate. Third opportunity for Fairfield as they're winning those intangible battles that you want to see go your way. But Akupski is coming up limping. He has to sprint off. Fairfield actually getting a full line change as well against a very tired Stony Brook defense, and it leads to a goal as that one goes top corners. Jeremiah Wade with goal number 12 on the season.
A couple different opportunities for Fairfield on this possession. A few shots sent away by Wilk, but Fairfield able to recover. They win the sub game here. Stony Brook trailing, and it's Jeremiah Wade who finds top right corner.
Wade is coming off of a really good last couple of games. He had 2 goals in the victory against Hampton, then 3 points against Drexel down in Philly. They want to try and feed the hot hands. Stony Brook make a change. That's Declan Mitchell. The Fairfield at least pressuring the ball. It will stay with the Seawolves. This is the one thing that Stony Brook have. They have depth at faceoff. And this is for a team that saw the departure of 2 of their faceoff men to transfer. Chris Esposito now at Providence, Nico Cottage now at Wingate. But no problem, you just have that next man up. It's Smith. You have Mitchell in there as well. And a few other options. Tanner Williams, a sophomore from Niskayuna, New York, putting that one wide of the mark. First time we were really getting to see the Stony Brook offense after it was the Fairfield offense that had a large possession of the ball. Colin Williamson, great pass, and that one goes home. Justin Bonacci getting Stony Brook on the scoreboard.
Bonacci is 10th goal of the season. They catch Fairfield in a double team, and then it's Julian Radasic who has to try and trail to the open Stony Brook player. And that was a great shot there, non-stick side high of the left-handed goalkeeper in Landon Whitney. Poses a different look than Owen Hirsch, that strong, tall, right-handed.
Bonacci had a goal and assist in that loss against Towson, player that 43 points last year. Bonacci, who is top 10 of the conference in the points per game category, but Lewis again, great strength as he goes home to Whitney.
Assisted by number 16, Colin
I was very curious when Landon Whitney popped up on the Fairfield roster, a starter for a year and a half with UAlbany, starting their NCAA tournament victory against Siena in the opening round, then got the game against Notre Dame as well, and then plays just 4 games last year. But with Owen Hirsch bringing a lot of experience, Will Snyder also bring a lot of experience. We're wondering, could this been a year where Whitney would be looked at for the future, but the future is very much now. LeMay dodging, drawing a shorty here, and he's got the ISO. LeMay, good save by Wilk. The referee is going to say interference foul on Fairfield. Don't mind that take, though, from LeMay, creating something for himself.
And LeMay drew that matchup he liked, that short stick.
As Fairfield forced a turnover. It's numbers, but a save by Wilk. Boy, that one rocketed off his shins straight into the Stony Brook bench, but it will be back over with the Seawolves.
We saw in the women's game earlier, Fairfield was able to cause a lot of turnovers on their ride. There, the Fairfield men's team taking a page out of the women's book, trying to cause the turnover and go quickly on offense, but Wilk up to the task.
And that one is certainly going to hurt tomorrow morning, as Wilk already up to 5 saves here in the first 8 minutes of the game.
And we talked about this Fairfield offense, a high volume shooting type offense, but if you're that when you're up 3v2 in terms of numbers in transition, want to try to get a better shot on cage.
And that one goes in. How about that strike from Bonacci? Going low to high, no chance for Whitney, and we're tied.
Starts with the save from Wilk on one end, then it's Bonacci getting his 2nd straight goal for the Seawolves. Stony Brook likes to do this. They like to draw the Fairfield defense into those double teams and then find the open guy. And so far this afternoon, it's been Bonacci, and he's making the most of his opportunities.
Yeah, this is a player in Bonacci, the Port Jefferson Station native, 29 points in league play last season. He's already got 6 here in CAA games.
Stony Brook goal scored by number 44, Justin Bonacci.
A sea of madness off the face-off that Lewis has it. Gets it knocked off his stick, but it'll be Fairfield possession. Well, credit to Jonathan Lewis, for coming in for the injured Daniel Davis. And he has put together a really nice start. Lewis, who had entered today, just facing off at 46%. Jonathan doing enough to keep his team back in possession as he has won 4 of the 5. Moore, once again, drawing a shorty. That pass deflected, it was not. Airmailed over Wade's head. These two teams often play games where you're going to have just a ton of possessions. 17-16 down on the island last year. It went in favor of the Seawolves. Now Stony Brook will settle in with Kean McCoy.
After a chaotic start to this one, we've seen both offenses settle in. Stony Brook back-to-back goals.
Great check by Nate Livingston stepping up. It's interesting, you say settled and you're right, but what Stony Brook have done in the early few minutes is that first pass becomes that first look. It takes a while for the pass, but they don't have any sort of hesitation. Maybe the longest cycling we've had from Stony Brook thus far is Williamson trying to roll the crease, create separation, but Whitney makes his first stop.
Brandon Whitney, great opening save for him. He read that one all the way. It was the question mark dodge from Stony Brook. Held his pipe well there. Cut off the angle.
And Whitney letting his bench know about it as well, getting him fired up. Lamprin lost the handle of it, tried to no-look off the pole. But Carson Forney just stood tall and made a play.
Back-to-back, really unforced turnovers for Fairfield. We've seen that kind of plague the Fairfield offense so far this season. You know, win the face-off, gain some momentum, and then turn it back over to the other team.
Another turnover from Stony Brook. They're already 2 of 5 on clears here in this first quarter. And Gilbert's going to go unsettled, or at least like he was attempting to do so. And Fairfield again trying to manipulate the sub game as Rob Moore's gotten ahead. Goes to Consoli, saved by Wilk. No rebound as well as he deaded it right on top of the crease. And here comes Will Burney. It's numbers. Burney to goal. Puts it wide. Will Burney's only got 4 goals on the year, Brindley, but it seems like every time he gets the ball on his cross, he is just going one place, and that is towards net.
Wilk with a great outlet pass to Burney to kickstart that transition play. Goes wide of the mark, but Stony Brook able to win the race to the backup.
And Wilk, earlier on in his career, all rookie honors. Last year only just appeared in the 4 games. That was Jamison McLaughlin, who had the 10.2 goals against. Colin Williamson trying to dodge against a couple, got around Livingston, and Whitney's able to gobble that up. After seeing the first go by, Landon Whitney's settled into this game.
Back-to-back saves for Whitney and back-to-back saves on Williamson, the top attacker for Stony Brook.
Fairfield team that clears at 90%. They got it across, but the pass not connecting. However, Jake Gilbert's able to rescue it. So it is a successful clear for Fairfield. Perfect at 6 for 6. hardly had a chance to breathe in this first quarter, but it's just been back and forth the way that both squads like it. Justin Brown with the inside move. Closed down well by a short stick and Jaden Baldwin. Second unit out for Fairfield is Akupski now with Brown, puts it top corner. There's no stopping that one. Justin Brown with his 7th goal of the season.
Great ball movement from the Fairfield offense, finding the open guy, went to all 4 quadrants of the field. And then you see Brown, he's catching, he's ready to shoot. Finds that top corner on a goalie in Wilk, who already 6 saves in this first quarter. Fairfield gonna have to start picking those corners a little bit better, and Brown does a great job there of finding the open space.
Yeah, Wilk is someone that is top 25 in the country in saves per game at 11.6. You usually have to ask a couple of questions of how that tends to be, but Wilk gets plenty of looks. Maybe so much the defense is taking away those grade A's and it becomes comfortable, but Wilk has had to make a couple of really good point-blank saves. And no chance of stopping that. If Fairfield get it across, there's still enough time for one more just about full possession after the conclusion of this one. More dodges, Consoli, beautiful ball movement, but a nice step up by the Stony Brook defender. That was Hayden Whitney jumping the shooting lane. Fairfield still have plenty of time in this possession as they'll reset back to the top. Jeremiah Wade, one of the goal scorers for Fairfield. Wade nearly lost his balance, but found Consoli. Fairfield out shooting Stony Brook 12-9 here in this first quarter. Goes underneath from low to high, but it's intercepted. And more numbers coming here for the visitors as Bernie once again playing downhill. Bonacci with a pass for Bernie behind him. That should still stay on, however. It's kept in really well from Jack Cavalieri. Cavalieri to goal. Flags come flying. No signal just yet. It's going to be a man up coming now for the visitors.
Stony Brook tried to go quickly in that transition look. Just missed the mark. We're going to get a Fairfield penalty here. Push in the back.
Yeah, it's going to be a 30-second push on Nate Livingston. It gives a man-up unit for Stony Brook at 32% to go to work. Fairfield have struggled on special teams. They're at 43% man down this season and bottom of the CAA and man up at 19%. It's gotten better over the last couple of weeks.
Pushing at 36 seconds of the quarter.
The Stony Brook offense had 3 players top 20 in the country last year in man-up goals. No look in the middle, and that's a reason why. Colin Williamson with his 3rd man-up goal of the season, but it seems that 6-on-5 offense, they're clicking at another level.
Stony Brook finding the sliver of space in that Fairfield man-down zone defense, and Williamson, who just slips behind the defense, absorbs some contact on that shot. We saw Williamson 0 for 2 so far on his shooting against Whitney, but able to find the back of the net there. The player we highlighted at the beginning of the game, 17th goal this season.
Williamson, who had 7 man-up goals last year, he, alongside Justin Bonacci and Carson Boyle, who both had 6, are amongst the best man-up goals. It will be another face-off violation for Fairfield. They'll get possession. Again, Jonathan Lewis off to an absolutely flying start. 13 seconds left, enough time for Fairfield to generate something. Comes back to Jason LeMay, high and wide. It'll be Jake Gilbert to trigger. Gilbert to a little over assists per game. Good for top 5 in the conference. Down to 3. Gilbert with 1, throws it in the middle. It's good! Right at the end of the quarter, Jason LeMay gives Fairfield the lead.
LeMay slips behind the defense, gives Fairfield their slight 1-goal advantage. Jake Gilbert, the player we highlighted at the beginning, just draws both defenders, and LeMay smart slips behind, and it's the twister for the goal.
Fairfield will lead after 1. Stay with us. You're watching a presentation of the Stag Sports Network.
Your score, Fairfield Stags 4.
Your likes and reposts are the notifications my soul craves.
It's the first Tuesday of the month. It's time to scratch tickets, there's a bunch.
It's just spoken word. First Tuesday every month, new tickets, new prizes, exciting new chances to win take hold. First Tuesday never gets old.
It's the first Tuesday, so let's get scratching.
Illicit Brewing Company in Fairfield, Connecticut has everything you need for a night out. Dozens of house-brewed draft beers, guest taps, a full bar, live entertainment, dozens of TVs to catch the game, a speakeasy and game room, brew pub style food offerings, and more. This commercial isn't long enough to show you everything Illicit has to offer. So come see it for yourself. Illicit Brewing, 111 Black Rock Turnpike in Fairfield. IllicitBrewing.com.
Well, something that you usually don't see all that often is last-second offense turn into goals. Anthony Gallardi was hoping that his group would get into the break before the second, tied up, but this is a team that has been under the tutelage for him now in 6 previous years, now in his 7th, but in those 6, 500 or better records in those campaigns. A former associate head coach at Towson, so a lot of experience in coaching in CAA men's lacrosse. Meanwhile, Andrew Baxter, again, he's just looking for that full consistency. And Brindley, while Fairfield have given up 3 goals, it was the type of first quarter that you want to have, especially knowing that there's a lot of pressure that goes into this game with both teams at 1-1.
That first quarter had just about everything. We saw 9 turnovers, 5 for Fairfield, 4 for Stony Brook. A high volume of shots for both offenses. And one area that Fairfield might have had some question marks coming into today is the face-off, but that was one area in that first quarter that was excellent for the Stags. Jonathan Lewis won all but 1 face-off.
It's going to be a hold on Stony Brook, and yeah, whatever Lewis had for breakfast and for pregame meal, it is clearly working. Previous best this season, Lewis was 6 for 8 against Hampton, took 14 face-offs against Brown in Fairfield's home opener. Won 6 of those, but he is just figured out something here. And Fairfield again manipulating the sub game is Consoli in the alley off the post. Is Luke Patchen a delayed reverse back into the field of play, caught Stony Brook way off guard. Now Fairfield getting their 6-player unit on for this sequence. Consoli again in the alley. This time he doesn't miss. Everyone pointing over to Rob Moore with the helper, which would be his 8th assist of the year.
Pointing to Rob Moore for good reason. This is all set up by the speed of Moore. He beats his defender 1v1, causing the Stony Brook team to have to slide, and then it's Will Consoli. If you give him another opportunity on that strong right hand, he's going to make you pay.
Well, again, no Daniel Davis, no problem it seems for Fairfield, because they're getting the looks, because they're continually having success at the dot.
Goal scored by number 1, Will Consoli.
But great strength off the battle from Gary Correa, redshirt sophomore from Merrick, New York. Now Stony Brook will settle into their offense. First quarter stats, 11 shots, 7 on target, 3 finding the back of the cage. Landon Whitney saw the first few fly past him, but was able to settle into the game after that. Tanner Williams getting through, but puts it wide. Well, actually, they're going to say a save on that. So Whitney was able to touch that around the post. Stony Brook, again, They lost that game last week to nationally ranked Towson, but won 4 straight. And because it's players like that, Jack Cavalieri helping the offense. That's just his 3rd goal of the season. Player that missed 5 games in the middle portion of non-conference play, but returned last week. And now it's back-to-back games with goals.
There was some confusion on the Fairfield defense. Left Cavalieri wide open at the top there. Just a good step and rip, get it past Whitney.
It seemed like Andrew Caston, 12 and white, had his head turned around a little bit. Let's see who his mark was. Cavalieri, the player who had all county and all league honors at Center Reach High School on the island. Been banged up, but back in there for the last couple of games. But another face-off violation on Stony Brook. Coach Gallardi needs to figure something out here because Lewis, he's not even doing anything too tricky. He's just winning face-offs left, right, and center. So Jeremiah Wade reverses into the alley for Consoli, once again ringing the iron. Oh, and it's going to be back up to Stony Brook. Despite the ball going out on the Fairfield attacking half of the field, it was deemed that Bonacci was the closest to it.
Bonacci, a good heads-up play, although over the midline as an attacker, he can still technically win that run out to the ball if he's closest to when and where it goes out of bounds. But Consoli, so much heat on those shots. 2 pipes in the last 2 possessions.
And it turns into a goal on the other end. It's Sean Carlo with his first of the season.
Sean Carlo, the beneficiary of the heads-up play from Bonacci. Just a good split dodge, gets to his left hand. And that's Whitney's strong stick side, but the shot had enough power, was able to get past Whitney.
Carlo, a player who missed all of last season due to an injury. He had 3 goals the season prior. Well, good to see that he's back in there. A player that appeared in all 16 contests in his first season.
Unassisted in 12 minutes, 29 seconds of the quarter.
It'll be Stony Brook back in possession. Yeah, that is the first goal for Carlo in nearly 2 full calendar years. The last time that he scored was against Delaware back on April the 13th of 2024. That's got to feel awfully good for him. We're tied at 5, just past 3 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Bouncer from Caleb Young goes wide, the all-rookie team selection last year. Again, the flow of this game has been exactly this. It has been breakneck at times. There have been stops in this game. Key ground ball coming. That Caston just overran a little bit. On Williamson, beat his man, but Whitney was able to fight it off. Flags come flying, so delayed man up here for Stony Brook, and now Bryce Rubiak touches it, so Stony Brook now will set up in the man up. They're already 1 for 1. Again, with the breakneck speed and intensity that we've had, both goalies have already gotten a half dozen saves here, and we have played, 18 and a half minutes of this game? A ton of offense.
Stony Brook going to get another chance at the man up. As you mentioned, already scored 1 today on the extra man opportunity in that first half. The first quarter, they found Williamson.
It's deemed unnecessary roughness on Fairfield's Bryce Rubiak. Colin Williamson with the man-up goal last quarter.
1 minute for unnecessary roughness at 11 minutes.
And going against a Fairfield man-down unit that is stopping them at less than 50%. Into the alley for Young, reverses it. Keen McCoy, now Bonacci. Great ball movement. And it's a finish that deserved it. Carson Boyle just sat in the soft spot, but Stony Brook were just moving that ball around with so much ease that the gaps opened up, and what a bench celly that is, by the way.
Great ball movement for Stony Brook on the player up. Another midfielder getting in the scoring column. This time it's Carson Boyle, who finds himself open in the man-down Fairfield zone. As a defense, Fairfield in their man-down like to play a packed-in zone rather than pressure out the ball. So you definitely can't allow players like Boyle to slip into that space. Now Stony Brook 2 for 2 on the extra man.
Mark Durling took the face-off for Fairfield.
Sean Carlo, assisted by number 37, Kean McCoy, at 11 minutes, 8 seconds.
And a great dodge and just good strength being shown by Robbie Smith, and has gone through a bit of a tough start to this game. Just 2 for 8 is Robbie Smith, but now Stony Brook on a bit of a run here. They've scored 3 straight and 4 of the last 6. And 4 of the last 6, that dates back to just 19 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Panacci's got a head, but he's able to force that off the post and a push. This is going to be on Fairfield. Not quite sure if Whitney got a piece of it or not, but it'll be a full reset of the shot clock. Or excuse me, a 60 reset of the shot clock.
Looked like that opportunity for Stony Brook rang off the pipe there.
Young was able to bounce off a defender that was a short stick, Carson Dial, losing in that one-on-one. Versus to Williamson. Williamson denied by Whitney.
Williamson drew the matchup of a short stick there, tried to take advantage, but Whitney read that one all the way.
Yeah, it was credit there to Shane Elliott, kind of forcing an awkward take. And a flag's going to come out, a procedure penalty on Stony Brook. Consoli. Oh, waiting for a Kupski, but a save by Wilk, and that will bring a stoppage. It's that little no-look that Consoli does. He's able to sell it so nicely. But Kupski with the late cut-in. We'll take a look at it here.
Kupski with a great slip behind the defense. And as a Stony Brook defense, you have to honor Consoli as a goal scorer, especially from that top left corner of the field where he scored that goal already in the second quarter. So he can take advantage, start to become a facilitating threat as well.
Gonna be just a 30-second procedure penalty. Brian Bradley is serving. Fairfield 4 of 21 on man up this season. That is 19%. Last in the conference. It's a very good man down. 78% is Stony Brook, but Lamprin, oh yeah, daylight, but it's taken away by Wilk. It seemed like that was just moving in slow motion there, but Tommy Wilk closed the door.
Wilk, his 8th save already in this one. We still have over 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Lamprin got all the way to the goal there. Just needed to throw that one extra fake to get it past Wilk.
And Stony Brook able to wiggle out of that by way of Will Burney. Well, they often say in ice hockey that your best penalty killer is usually your goalie. Your best man down can also be your goalie in this sport, and Tommy Wilk basically almost looking off Lamprin, forcing him to shoot, not to pass, and Lamprin try to stuff it in. Not to be, as Wilk, as you said, already putting up huge numbers on the save side. There's Michael Klepfer, trying to get any sort of separation. Back now to Carlo. Williamson dodging, gets around a man and scores. Just too easy for him right now. Colin Williamson bags another.
Williamson, his second goal of the day, consistently drawing that short stick defensive matchup. I don't know, Fairfield's meaning to do that, tries to throw two defenders, but it's Williamson just dodging, switching hands here, going to his left hand, puts it past Whitney.
Fairfield calls a timeout as Stony Brook are running right now, outscoring Fairfield 4-1 in the quarter. We'll step aside as well. You're watching a presentation of men's college lacrosse on the Stag Sports Network.
In an unpredictable world where every moment matters, imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing your loved ones, lifestyle, and business are all protected. At Meridian Risk Management, we offer tailored solutions, whether for personal, commercial, or benefits insurance. We are here to safeguard what you value most, so you can embrace every adventure ahead. Meridian Risk Management, because your legacy deserves protection.
Your work thrives on a schedule. You prioritize family time. You make time to chase your dreams. There is one simple thing that improves all of your priorities: better sleep. Sattva wants to inspire the world to prioritize sleep with a selection of handcrafted luxury mattresses made and assembled in America. Because the quality of your sleep helps shape the quality of your life. Work smarter, love stronger, and dream bigger. Sattva, unlock the power of a great night's sleep.
Stony Brook right now, they're sharing the ball nicely and scoring. Colin Williamson picking up his second goal of the day, and it is a 4-0 run over the last 5:44. A Stony Brook team that has already seen 5 different players hit the back of the cage. It's not the biggest offense in the world, Brinley Anderson. In fact, it's a group that averages just 10.4 goals per game. They might pass their average, still with a few minutes left to go in the first half, the way that they're shooting the ball.
Yeah, their individual numbers don't jump out on the page at you, and Colin Williamson just 16 goals now, 18 as he has 2 today, but he's that high scorer for Stony Brook. They've just done it today so far as a collective unit. 7 goals, 5 of them being assisted.
And this is all coming while Stony Brook have really struggled at faceoff. They have won just 4 of the 12 taken. Jonathan Lewis been almost perfect at 8 of 11 on the day. And again, Robbie Smith just sticking his head in there and trying to make a play for his team. The entire bench coming over to celebrate with him. The Stony Brook team going up against a little bit of a weary Fairfield defense at the moment. As after Jonathan Lewis got the game started the way that he had hoped to, Fairfield have not gotten a stop since. That effort from McCoy goes wide. Williamson this time has a pull on him. That's Eli Adams. He was returned to the lineup over the last couple of weeks after missing a large chunk of non-conference play. $20 left on the shot clock. That one rings off the pipe. It was Caleb Young turning around and firing. Williamson with the ground ball. He'll go to goal, and then Radosic jars it loose. I mean, that is Julian Radosic. He has set every record for Fairfield for caused turnovers, amongst the nation's leaders as well, 3rd in fact in calls per game. That's the first time we've called his name, though, here this afternoon.
Yeah, making his presence known on that possession. We saw Stony Brook get another opportunity. A couple times they've almost got those offensive rebounds off of shots. At that time, Fairfield able to come up with the caused turnover and give their offense a look. We haven't really seen much of their offense in this second quarter.
And Fairfield, again, a blistering start through one quarter. We've taken 19 shots. Good ball reversal to Consoli, trying to lose the pull. That pass a bit too tall, and Rob Moore, kind of a sore one as well, might have twisted the ankle. He limps back over to the sideline. And Fairfield just 5 shot attempts here in this second quarter. Just the 1 goal scored. Stony Brook had to see their defense be on the field for a lot in the first quarter. Now their offense out here for a lot in the second. Sean Carlo, who scored his first goal of the season earlier this quarter, was part of this 4-goal run for the Seawolves that started back at the 13:20 mark of the second period. Oh, nice move by Owen Donnellan. Cavalieri, roll the crease, turns around, puts it over the mark. Absorbed a big hit from Andrew Caston in the process.
Tried for that question mark dodge, coming up one side of the crease, switching back to your other hand at the last minute.
Down to 15 on the clock. Williamson closed down well, has to reverse. Klepfer, former Merrimack player. That pass knocked down, and Austin McClintock has it. Tries to go a little razzle-dazzle, and Fairfield are going to do wonders to keep that on. Little 2-man game. Back to Lamperin. Hesitates. Saved by Wilk. And a dangerous pass, but it's going to work as Brian Bradley's off. Bradley scores! It starts with Tommy Wilk. A dangerous pass over the middle, and somehow Brian Bradley is able to wiggle his way out of that one, and he put it away with ease.
Give the unofficial assist to Wilk with the great save, already his 9th of the day, and then it's Bradley. Sees daylight in front of him, sees green grass, and just takes it 1v1 versus Landon Whitney. Stony Brook, a team, when you give them room to run, they are going to go to goal. A team who likes to go in transition. We've already seen that so far today in this first half. But Wilk, another great save. I think if you're Fairfield, start switching up your shots. That's Wilk's 9th save. A few of them have been that low shot, trying to go between the legs, that bouncer. So if you're Fairfield, try to switch up your shooting.
That's something that we focused on specifically earlier this season with Devin Lamperin. He and Coach Andrew Baxter had a bit of a shooting session after the game against Providence at the end of the month. And in running some of the numbers, Lamperin has seen his shooting percentage go up by 20%, taking less shots per game but getting more on target, and the goals are coming. And he's doing everything right in terms of getting it on frame, but Wilk has read the shot selection, as well as everybody else. Is Christian Brown, one of the goal scorers for Fairfield back in the first, reverses. Now a Kupski. Lamperin. Good decision. Brown puts it wide. And what Coach Baxter was telling us about a few of his players, saying that kind of need to have plan A and plan B already set when the ball gets into your cross, as opposed to catching, then figuring it out. Once those players made the adjustment, it's really paid off. As Gilbert, it's closed down well. 7 on the shot clock. Pass in the middle. Kupski just puts it wide. Now 4 seconds left here. Fairfield do have enough time to generate something towards goals. KJ Delane is going to elect not to. I can understand, Brindley, where Stony Brook are a big transition team. Both Fairfield struggling to find offense here in the quarter. I don't see much harm in throwing something towards the cage and see if you can get an odd bounce.
Yeah, 4 seconds, definitely enough time to see if you can get something in the middle, a quick catch and fire. As you mentioned, Fairfield has not had the answers offensively in this second quarter, just 1 goal.
Now Stony Brook, you can't quite see the quarter out, of course, but you can take it down around the 1:15 mark. Going up against a bit of a tired Fairfield defensive unit, which have gotten their stops here in this first half. Good little pick game and a great finish as well. Flag comes flying, the goal will stand. It again comes from persistent ball movement. It's Kean McCoy who gets the goal.
Stony Brook now 9 goals, 7 of them assisted. This is just a great pass inside, almost like an alley-oop for McCoy. And he's going to draw the penalty on the back side of this as well.
The run for Stony Brook is now 6. Beautiful dime from Bonacci as well, who's got himself a pair of goals and a pair of assists. And a game between two teams at 1-1 now in the CAA, down from 7 games after the departure of University of Delaware, just 6 in the league to try and make the top 4. Wins are at a premium for both. Fairfield will do themselves a whole lot of good here by trying to generate a good offensive possession to take momentum into the locker room. After the conclusion of this possession, it'll still be another half minute as Fairfield, they had numbers with the sub game. Consoli was asking for the ball. Never got to him. Down to 30 on the clock as Akupski will go into the alley for Consoli. Rings it off the post once again. That was kicked back into Fairfield's half of the field. This should be Fairfield ball. Knocked out of bounds off Carson Forney's stick. And now Fairfield can hold for the last. And Andrew Baxter is going to, no, excuse me, that is Stony Brook that gets a timeout here. Fairfield are going to call one anyways.
Timeout taken by Stony Brook.
But boy, Fairfield, they're chasing 4 in this one, Brindley, but what is it now? 4 posts that Fairfield have hit in the first half, maybe 5.
And 3 from Will Consoli just in this second quarter alone. They're getting the looks on that left side of the field with Consoli in his strong right hand. You give your Fairfield, keep going to that look. And if you're Coach Andrew Baxter, tell Will Consoli, keep shooting. A pipe really means the attacker is shooting for those angles, those corners of the cage.
Well, Anthony Gallardi will be happy with the way that his team has operated here in this second quarter after absorbing a quick start from Fairfield. But right now it's on the Fairfield offense, who will get the last look of this quarter. But it's really now going to be all about what this Fairfield team can do to try and generate any sort of offense that goes in between the posts. They've got it towards the post, just the post not been on their side.
And they haven't been able to solve Tommy Wilk in goal. 9 saves, just 5 goals allowed in this first half, saving it at 64%.
Perhaps it's something for Wilk playing against a team from Fairfield, Connecticut. His season best was 18 in the opening game of the year against Sacred Heart across town.
Really important possession here for Fairfield as they head into halftime.
Yeah, their last goal came at the 46-second mark into the quarter from Consoli by way of Rob Moore. It is a 6-0 run for Stony Brook since. But again, get a goal right before halftime. You feel like that wave of momentum can swing back in your favor. On the flip side for Stony Brook, get a stop here, and you feel like you've dominated the half, even though it's just a 4-goal game. Offense should probably start around that 17-second mark or so. Fairfield are shooting to the end. That doesn't have the game clock. Moore with Gilbert. Consoli in the alley. Down to 9. Moore. Consoli throws it out towards Delane. A big collision on top of the crease. And Wilk is just going to let the horn sound, and that will do it for the first half as Fairfield trying to generate some action on top of the keeper, but ultimately not getting a shot on target. And Stony Brook end that first half on a 6-goal run over a 13-20 minute stretch. We'll step aside. You're watching a presentation of men's college lacrosse on the Stag Sports Network.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
Why is the U.S. ski and snowboard team proud to have Headlam as their official non-alcoholic beer sponsor? Because when you're bombing down a mountain at 100 miles per hour with only spandex and lip balm for protection, you definitely don't want to buzz. You want cold, crisp, great-tasting American beer without the booze. Because staying upright is kinda important, right? Headlam, brewed to be wild.
In an unpredictable world where every moment matters, imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing your loved ones, lifestyle, and business are all protected. At Meridian Risk Management, we offer tailored solutions, whether for personal, commercial, or benefits insurance. We are here to safeguard what you value most, so you can embrace every adventure ahead. Meridian Risk Management, because your legacy deserves protection.
Illicit Brewing Company in Fairfield, Connecticut has everything you need for a night out. Dozens of house-brewed draft beers, guest taps, a full bar, live entertainment, dozens of TVs to catch the game, a speakeasy and game room, brew pub-style food offerings, and more. This commercial isn't long enough to show you everything Illicit has to offer, so come see it for yourself. Illicit Brewing, 111 Black Rock Turnpike in Fairfield. IllicitBrewing.com.
Move your right foot. There you go.
This young girl's breakthrough, just being a kid, was made possible by another breakthrough. The discovery of a game-changing drug that's delaying the onset of type 1 diabetes for years to come. That's the pioneering research of Yale School of Medicine delivered through Yale New Haven Health. Together, we're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
AI is everywhere. Organizations use it to make smarter, data-driven decisions. At Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business, AI is woven into every part of the curriculum, guided by expert faculty, hands-on learning, and a focus on ethical impact. Dolan students see AI not as something to fear, but as a tool to unlock human potential, bridge technical knowledge with business insight to thrive in an AI-driven world, today and for the greater good of tomorrow. Unlock your potential with Dolan AI.
Your work thrives on a schedule. You prioritize family time. You make time to chase your dreams. There is one simple thing that improves all of your priorities: better sleep. Sattva wants to inspire the world to prioritize sleep with a selection of handcrafted luxury mattresses made and assembled in America. Because the quality of your sleep helps shape the quality of your life. Work smarter, love stronger, and dream bigger. Sattva, unlock the power of a great night's sleep.
In the classroom, in the field, on the water, Stony Brook University is a place for daring, Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
Your likes and reposts are the notifications my soul craves.
It's the first Tuesday of the month. It's time to scratch tickets, there's a bunch.
It's just spoken word. First Tuesday every month, new tickets, new prizes, exciting new chances to win take hold. First Tuesday never gets old.
It's the first Tuesday, so let's get scratching.
Today's presentation of men's college lacrosse on the Stag Sports Network is proudly supported by Robinson's Painting and Home Improvements, a proud partner of Fairfield Athletics. From interior refreshes to full exterior transformations, Robinson's Painting delivers expert craftsmanship for homes and businesses across Fairfield County. To learn more or request a quote, call 203-352-1123 or visit robinsonspaintingco.com. Your scorer after 30 minutes of action is Stony Brook 9, Fairfield 5. The Seawolves ending the second quarter on a 6-goal run that spanned over 13 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll look back at the first, get you ready for the second half here on the Stag Sports Network.
AI is everywhere. Organizations use it to make smarter, data-driven decisions. At Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business, AI is woven into every part of the curriculum, guided by expert faculty, hands-on learning, and a focus on ethical impact. Dolan students see AI not as something to fear, but as a tool to unlock human potential. Bridge technical knowledge with business insight to thrive in an AI-driven world, today and for the greater good of tomorrow. Unlock your potential with Dolan AI.
Illicit Brewing Company in Fairfield, Connecticut has everything you need for a night out. Dozens of house-brewed draft beers, guest taps, a full bar, live entertainment, dozens of TVs to catch the game, a speakeasy and game room, brew pub-style food offerings, and more. This commercial isn't long enough to show you everything Illicit has to offer, so come see it for yourself. Illicit Brewing, 111 Black Rock Turnpike in Fairfield, illicitbrewing.com.
Just a few moments away from the start of the second half here at Rafferty Stadium on the campus of Fairfield University. The sun is shining. It does not feel like spring weather. It is rather cold, but that has not stopped this Stony Brook offense putting up 9 goals in the first half. They are just under 2 goals from where they usually average finishing off their games, but 9 goals off of 25 shots. That's a shooting percentage that any coach would love to have. Let's take a look now at the highlights from the first half. As Fairfield, they got themselves off to a quick start, getting goals from 5 different players: Wilkins Soley, Devin Lamprin, Jeremiah Wade, Jason LeMay, and Justin Brown. But after that quick run from Stony Brook, it was really Fairfield on the back foot a little bit. Tommy Wilk was a main reason why the Stags were not able to generate much more going forward offensively. Wilk making 9 saves to Landon Whitney's 8. But it was the power of Justin Bonacci, Colin Williamson, a goal and 2 assists from Kean McCoy, and then getting some offense from maybe players at Fairfield weren't expecting to see all that much. A first goal this season for Sean Carlo, a goal and an assist for him, I should say, and then goals from Brian Bradley and Carson Boyle have given the Seawolves the advantage, bringing Brindley Anderson back into this. And Brindley, it's one of those halves that you start a little bit slowly, but that's where you just make adjustments, and whatever Coach Gallardi said to his team in between quarters 1 and 2 clearly worked. Now it's on the opposite side for Fairfield. As you see the stats come up, you'd say from a half like that, okay, not really too much wrong. Maybe the turnover came a little bit. You just got to find a way to get stops and then try to disrupt when Stony Brook gets in transition.
You see these first half stats almost identical in all categories. You think we have a closer game, but it's that 4-goal advantage for Stony Brook, courtesy of that 6-goal second quarter. Second quarters have been a problem for Fairfield this season. They've come out hot, excited to start the game, and then it's that second quarter that gets them into trouble, especially on the offensive end. Just 1 goal in that second quarter by Will Consoli.
If there is a positive on the Fairfield side, the third quarters are the quarters that have benefited them the most, outscoring their opponents 34-17. But also for Stony Brook, they've got a +10 at 28-18 in third quarter, so something truly has to give here. This is not the only game going on in CAA men's lacrosse at a 3 p.m. or later start time. Towson leads Drexel 13-7 with 8.5 left to go in the fourth. Mikey Weishar, 6 goals, 1 assist off 7 shots. Alex Russell with 4 goals and 2 assists. So right now Towson will remain atop the standings, and that was a battle of the unbeatens in CAA, as it'll be a face-off violation on Stony Brook. And Fairfield will get the opening possession alongside Brindley Anderson and our outstanding Stag Sports Network crew. I'm JJ Duke. Thanks for spending your time here with us. This is the second game for Fairfield on the lacrosse side this afternoon. There's Fairfield women in a battle of unbeatens in the MAC, knocking off Canisius 12-9. Now for Fairfield, you don't have to have complete urgency out of the gate, but you certainly need to generate a set that forces at minimum a save of Tommy Wilk. As Devin Lamprin shoots, Wilk able to gobble it up. He's now in double figures, and here comes Stony Brook on the transition. Will Burney has been a main character of that, getting the ball and moving.
Wilk likes to make those saves. He immediately finds Burney to kickstart the transition offense for Stony Brook. Now they're going to get their subs coming in, get their settled offense on the field.
There's a fairly quick possession for Fairfield. Again, we showed you the stats from the first half. It was just a slim +2 margin on the shots, and Fairfield, they hit nearly a half dozen posts in the first half. There's a deflected effort, goes wide of the mark, and now we're just noticing Owen Hirsch has taken his spot in between the posts. Yeah, so Fairfield making a sub in between the sticks in between halftime as Landon Whitney done, stopping 8 off 17. Again, one of those, Brindley, similar to Fairfield making a goalie change on the women's side in the first half, where Whitney Robinson was just under 50%, but Kira Fury comes in for her. Didn't feel like Landon Whitney played all that bad of a half. Just didn't really get much help in front of him.
Yeah, Landon Whitney not seeing the shots he necessarily wants to see as a goaltender, those low angle shots. A lot of the chances for Stony Brook were grade A opportunities, but Owen Hirsch comes up with a big save there.
And he's firing up his bench as well, as Fairfield are going to try and run in transition. Always get that first shot that goes to you comfortably, settles you in nicely. And here comes Consoli, splits a pair, saved by Wilk. You were calling for it back in the first half. Fairfield have stayed consistent shooting low, and Will continues to be a brick wall. But Consoli knocks the ball loose, and Fairfield have numbers. Comes to Gilbert. It's a 5-on-4. Gilbert elects not to push, probably for the best. So a second chance here for Fairfield.
That was a great chance by Will Consoli. Got all the way to the goal. Was able to evade a couple of Stony Brook defenders. But yeah, Fairfield continuing to shoot low on Wilk, where he's read those shots all day long.
As Lampern got his stick checked on the shot, it will stay with Fairfield. Lampern 7 shots in this game, just the one tally. Spoke about how he and Coach Baxter had a shooting session after the Providence game, trying to pick those corners. As flags come flying. Well, Consoli was in the shooting motion, but will bring the play to a stop. Nonetheless, Lampern, this is the first time we've seen him since that game where he's had a high shot volume and not as much goal production. And over the course of March, Lampern is averaging a hat trick per game.
Yeah, Lampern 9th in the CA in goals per game with just over 2. You mentioned that shooting percentage, now up to 47 on the season. We were calling games earlier in the season where he was in the teens, so good for him to get that shooting percentage up.
It's a 30-second technical on Will Burney. And Fairfield get the man-up goal. Quick stick action to KJ Delane. And Fairfield, again, they've struggled on man-up this season, but they open the scoring here in the second man-up. That bench is loving it, by the way.
Rob Moore with his 3rd assist of the afternoon finds Delane right in front of the cage. Those are the opportunities you want to generate if you're a player up. Again, it's 6v5. This defense has one less player out there, so you want to try to generate those good shot opportunities right in front of the cage. Find that open guy.
And it is now 3 consecutive games for Fairfield with a man-up goal. So starting to get a little bit more production on 6-on-5 as Jonathan Lewis has truly been the bright spot for Fairfield at X. He is 12 of 16.
Assisted by number 50, Rob Moore.
In his season most of faceoffs win was 6 a couple of times. Stepping in is Lewis for the unavailable Daniel Davis. And he has done a really solid job, at least giving Fairfield as many possessions that they would like. It's Fairfield going with the second midfield unit of Patchen, Brown, and Akupski. And also Delane stays out with Gilbert and Lampern. Lampern drawing a shorty on him. That's Brian Bradley. Akupski with 20 on the clock. Patchen. Got to wriggle out of that one, so he has to reset down to 12. It's got to be Delane, and he's got to go quickly. KJ draws 3. Still hangs on to it with 1 and just puts it into a corner. So you take that as a win if you're Stony Brook.
For Fairfield, we saw 4 goals in that first quarter. They were doing a good job early on driving and drawing the Stony Brook slide defenders. That was able to open up some of those looks they had in the first quarter. And in the second and third, now going away from that, trying to do more 1v1 dodging looks, not there on that possession.
Fairfield are trying a few different matchups, going with that second midfield unit, also mixing in on the attack as well. Trying to go 2 for none. Not able to convert after getting the man-up goal. Michael Klepfer. Justin Bonacci, what a first half he had with 2 goals, 2 assists off 5 shots. Now to Colin Williamson. Down to 15 on the clock for Stony Brook. Bonacci to 10. Oh, great work to knock that loose, but Williamson stays with it with 4. Williamson goes behind the back and what a save by Hirsch. Well, an acrobatic effort nonetheless by Williamson to get a shot off, but Hirsch absolutely going berserk off to our right, trying to get his team going. Meanwhile, Caston goes. Shane Elliott and Fairfield need to reset. Nearly Hayden Whitney knocked that ball loose. As Fairfield just only have 4 men on the attack side, so they will just slow it down here. But Brindley, we did not have any of this in the first half where you'd have a couple of possessions, couple of stops. It was just stop, score, score, score.
And if you're Fairfield, Owen Hirsch just bringing a different look to that defense. Sometimes that goalie change, like we mentioned in the women's game earlier today, sometimes a goalie change can just fire up a defense, give the offense a different look. There, Colin Williamson was able to get a shot off somehow, but Hirsch read it all the way.
The effort from Moore goes wide. It was a really good no-look from Consoli, but the run-out goes to Stony Brook. Now Fairfield applying the 10-man, forced a fair few turnovers in the first half. 4 failed clears thus far. Stony Brook still have another 7 seconds to get it across, as Wilk will just pump it into space, and Fairfield get it right back. So another failed clear for the Seawolves, and Fairfield again have it unsettled with Wilk backpedaling. But Will Burney slashing and hacking on Jason LeMay, but does enough to stop him.
We've seen that ride for Fairfield cause a couple of turnovers today, unable to turn it into immediate offense for the Stags, but get a good settled possession here, and we're gonna get an unforced turnover.
Yeah, that is one of those possessions that if you're Fairfield, you almost need to go straight to goal. You can understand settling, getting the 6-man unit that you want, but almost meat and potatoes it. Force a save from Wilk. He's done that, of course, plenty of times, but still.
And for this Fairfield offense, they just haven't been able to find continuous momentum. We've seen spurts of good offensive movement from Fairfield, just unable to string a couple of good offensive plays together.
And nearly Stony Brook putting themselves back into danger as Wilk short-hopped his teammate.
And if you're Stony Brook nearing the halfway point of this second or third quarter, the clock is now your friend. You still want to keep your foot on the gas pedal. Don't limit yourself offensively. Don't become stagnant, but try not to rush. Use majority of the shot clock.
Williamson got a step on his defender, but puts it wide of the mark. Colin Williamson now 2 off 8. Also has the assist. Bonacci got separation, saved by Hirsch. And Brindley, I don't know if you noticed that with Hirsch walking back a little slow, an awkward landing trying to get the run out.
He did make contact with the ball there, so a reset to 60 for Stony Brook.
And they put it away. Jack Cavalieri with his second goal of the afternoon. And still watching that back, Brindley. Hirsch doesn't look right after that dive.
Tries to win the race to the run out. Dive slow to get back, but it's Cavalieri. Just a great cut with the left hand. He becomes the 3rd multi-goal scorer for Stony Brook. Hirsch still shaken up after that play.
Yeah, Hirsch, again, he was kind of leaned down a couple of times after that ball went in. What he was trying to do on the shot before the goal, make a dive to win the backup to get possession back for his team. Only just now has he gotten back to a full standing position as a flag comes flying. I believe this penalty is going to be on Fairfield.
Stony Brook gonna go on the extra man opportunity, a hold here on Fairfield on this face-off ground ball battle.
Robbie Smith, every face-off that he has won for Stony Brook, he has earned it and then some. He has been a bit of a glutton for punishment, taking a few hacks and whacks after securing the ball. Sometimes also he's instigating his own contact to get it away, but whatever works, and Stony Brook back to the man up.
Penalty on number 11, Jason LeMay Jr. 1 minute for interference at 5 minutes 43 seconds of the quarter.
Stony Brook was able to capitalize on their 2 player-up opportunities in that first half. They were able to find grade A opportunities right in front of the crease by having good ball movement.
And this is a full minute possession as well, off the unnecessary from LeMay. And a timeout taken as Coach Gallardi wants to talk it over here. And we'll step aside briefly as well with 5:14 left to go in the third quarter as Stony Brook valuing this man-up opportunity. They lead by 4, but they want more.
Now is the time. And a Connecticut.
Your likes and reposts are the notifications my soul craves.
It's the first Tuesday of the month. It's time to scratch tickets, there's a bunch.
There's just spoken word. First Tuesday every month, new tickets, new prizes, exciting new chances to win take hold. First Tuesday never gets old.
It's the first Tuesday, so let's get scratching.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
Well, Stony Brook electing, after 28 seconds coming off of the 1-minute penalty on Jason LeMay, to step aside, reset, diagram something. Clearly Coach Gallardi not liking something that he's seen from Fairfield on their man-down scheme. So still plenty of time to figure out the right shot option. And Fairfield making a goalie change to start this second half. Owen Hirsch has stopped 3 off 4. Fairfield looked like they had garnered a little momentum, but any momentum that they had is going to be stopped quickly. Short side tuck from Kean McCoy. It's a 5-goal advantage now for the visitors.
Perfectly executed player-up opportunity from Stony Brook out of the timeout. As I mentioned, their first 2 opportunities of player-up in that first half got grade A chances right in front of the cage. This one no different. It's Williamson who finds McCoy for his second of the day.
And again, we're still keeping an eye on Owen Hirsch, who prior to the previous goal that he conceded, he tried to make a dive on a backup attempt, and he's still been kind of like shaking his leg out a little bit, his wrist on one occasion. Maybe perhaps it's also just cold out. Let's remember that too, as the feels like temperatures in the low 30s. So that could obviously be something. But after making 3 saves to begin, he has not looked quite settled as Fairfield and LeMay trying to shield it back to their favor as Gilbert somehow trying to get through 4 defenders, make it 5. He still hasn't, he got away! Oh, what a play there by Gilbert, and he's got numbers with him. Gilbert to goal! He deserves that one! He took on everybody and said, you know what? Put the team on my back. I'll do it myself.
Jake Gilbert, the battle for this ground ball, took on all 4 Stony Brook riding defenders here, somehow able to keep it in his stick. And then when you get past all those 4 defenders are in your rear view, and it's Gilbert with the left hand finding the corner. That's an area where Fairfield, if they can get those opportunities in transition, not let this Stony Brook defense set up, I think that's an area as we end this third quarter into the fourth where they can start to find some success.
Face-off violation on Jonathan Lewis. Yeah, I mean, that is an all-strength play. literally, Gilbert took on half of the Stony Brook team on the field and still somehow came away with the ball, right pinned up by the midfield pylon, and then went straight for goal. That's what I was talking about earlier. For sometimes a possession, okay, if you take that first look and a save happens, so be it. Sometimes you just need to get that force out there to put a shot on frame early, because you never know, it might just go in.
And that was one of those chances, a high shot for Gilbert. He faked low, where goalies had success today, and finished high.
Quick feed. Fairfield stifling the initial shot attempt from Cavalieri. Bonacci with the hesitation. Still 30 on the clock. Wraparound effort knocked away. Ground ball from Michael Klepfer, still with 17 on the shot clock. Goes back to Williamson. Drops it back. Dinellin now to 7. Bonacci fronted by Radosic. And that's going to do it for the possession.
If you're Fairfield, get this and go. Stony Brook gave away the ball at almost midfield.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky as the referee called the ball to be back to the right spot a few times. That allowed Stony Brook to get some of their subs. And in this sport, 4-goal deficits can be erased rather quickly. As it comes down to Kupski in the alley, puts it wide, and it's going to be backed up by Stony Brook.
It's a few times now where Fairfield's caught without a player behind the goal, trying to back up the shot.
Stony Brook, though, have had some issues against the 10-man. Already 5 failed clears, make it 6.
They've tried to find that long pass right in front of the Fairfield bench. That's the third one just like that, where they've sailed it over the attacker's head. If you're Fairfield, really want to get some offensive momentum going. Your defense and Ownhurst starting to come alive a little bit in this third quarter. But can you capitalize on this end of the field?
Kind of the crazy thing to say about it, though, Brindley, that pass where it ended up out of bounds was not the worst spot to put it, because it's a dead ball turnover from Stony Brook. They didn't allow Fairfield to take it and run with it. Gave them enough time to reset.
And now if you're Stony Brook, you can set up your defense.
And it works out as Consoli just lost the ball, and that's going to be a flag. Multiple flags come flying. Fairfield still yet to touch up, and I'm afraid to say, unfortunately for Will Consoli, it was just a moment where he lost everything there. And now it's going to be a man up coming for Stony Brook, and I'm going to be curious to see how much time this is going to be.
Will Consoli going to get tangled up there with the Stony Brook defender.
And it's just a 30-second.
It's a lucky break for Fairfield just to get that 30-second penalty. Could have been more.
Yeah, with the replay, it showed a little bit less violent on the player falling to the floor. It looked like in real time that was a bit of a dangerous hook. And only just partial. Still, nonetheless, warranted a penalty. Stony Brook a perfect 3 for 3 on man up. Making another one. This time Caleb Young with the goal. His second man up of the year.
Caleb Young, another Stony Brook Seawolf getting in the scoring column. They've been so excellent today on the player up opportunity, always finding that open guy, and they slip it past Hirsch. Stony Brook making the most of these Fairfield turnovers. 12 turnovers for Fairfield, only 4 caused by Stony Brook. So some of these Fairfield turnovers, just some errant passes, missing the mark on your teammate, but Stony Brook turning them into goals.
Stony Brook man up goal scored by
Mark Durling back at faceoff for Fairfield. Players losing their balance. Bernie's going to grab it.
At 1 minute, 15 seconds of the quarter.
Caleb Young, who was an all-rookie team selection last year, now on 13 points. 25 a year ago. And Stony Brook, after this one, they'll go out of conference, take on Marist. Monmouth, Drexel, and Hampton await. So opportunities there for the Seawolves. That's why, again, this game's so important for both of these teams, because Fairfield still have Towson, and the next week a Hofstra, which really can be the swing game.
Yeah, there's a few teams battling in that middle part of the CAA. These two teams being a part of that group.
And those head-to-head tiebreakers come in a lot in this conference. Remember when it was just the 6-team circuit, as Hirsch steps into that stop from Bernie. A great release as well. Back to that in a second here, as with the clock going, a stop by Wilk. We'll tell you more about how the rest of the season will shape up for both of these teams, and also what the fourth quarter will provide us. But it is Stony Brook who lead by 5. We head to a break here as you're watching men's college lacrosse on the Stag Sports Network. Fairfield got off to a quick start in the period, but Stony Brook powering through the finish line.
At 12 p.m.
Your likes and reposts are the notifications my soul craves.
It's the first Tuesday of the month. It's time to scratch tickets, there's a bunch.
It's just spoken word. First Tuesday every month, new tickets, new prizes, exciting new chances to win take hold. First Tuesday never gets old.
It's the first Tuesday, so let's get scratching.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
Take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. First, Stony Brook will have that out-of-conference game against Marist. Highlighted with the games that they have coming up, away to Monmouth and Hampton. If you take 2 out of 3, you're already in great shape if you see the result like this hold out. For Fairfield, they know they have to, if this result holds out, win that game against Hofstra to give them any sort of a chance to make the postseason. With Towson and Monmouth still to come, Holy Cross, a non-conference game on April 11th. As Robbie Smith wins a faceoff, he'll go for goal, and he bounces it off the crossbar. And Radosic with a great ground ball, but he lost the handle of it. Very frenetic to start this fourth quarter, but it will be the Seawolves to maintain. And I was speaking about how in this conference, back when it was just the 6 teams, 2 and 3 didn't always guarantee you getting into the tournament. As often you had a log jam at that spot, and tiebreakers would come into it. That's why head-to-head is so important. And for Stony Brook, a team that has played up tempo, normally, Brindley, you'd say stay with what's gotten you this far, but they need to use a bit of the clock every time that they have possession.
Yeah, wind that shot clock down. You still want to go with about 20 seconds to work with. Try to get a good shot opportunity on Owen Hirsch as he makes another save there.
Yeah, but flags flying in for the late hit by Radosic. And this is going to be another man up for the visitors. We're already 4 for 4 on the day.
Extra man opportunities has been such a bright spot for Stony Brook. You're going to get the late hit on Radosic there. Hirsch ended up making the save, but Stony Brook going to go back on the player up.
And the thing is for Stony Brook, in addition to the fact that they've scored man up every time, they've done so quickly in each of their possessions. As this is going to be a 2-minute unnecessary locked-in penalty. on Radosic.
And if you're Fairfield, not only a 2-minute locked-in penalty, but on your best cover guy, Radosic.
Julian Radosic. 2 minutes for illegal contact to the head, non-releasable.
Yeah, contact to the head. Referee spotted that one quickly. So if you're Stony Brook, you take time, you generate that best look. Effort goes deflected wide off Tanner Williams' stick. Still almost half of the possession to go, or half of the shot clock possession to go. Here's the pass in the middle. It's knocked down. Great work by Nate Livingston. It was Jason LeMay Jr. who's been given a long stick in this situation. You need a pole out there, so you switch it up.
And for Stony Brook, since there was a change of possession to Fairfield for a brief moment, that resets the shot clock all the way back to 80. So a fresh shot clock for the Stony Brook Seawolves offense to work with.
And Williamson makes no mistake. Able to sneak around, beat Hirsch short side, and Hirsch is not happy at his defense. Meanwhile, we break out the canoe celebration. Can't quite take a canoe to get across the sound, but you know what? I appreciate the thought.
Colin Williamson, another successful man-up opportunity for Stony Brook. It's his third goal of the afternoon, adding in 2 assists. We saw Fairfield able to cause the turnover there, but gave it right back to the Stony Brook offense, who makes no mistake there on the extra player opportunity.
So still with the Radosic locked-in penalty, 51 seconds of it to come. With Jonathan Lewis yet again winning another face-off.
Assisted by number 37, Kean
Was able to guide it back to Owen Hirsch.
49 seconds of the court.
This is Declan Riley looking for LeMay, but he's not able to hang on to it. Again, LeMay, as long as I'm seeing that's 11 on the field, LeMay usually a short stick, more of an offensive midfielder, but has been given a pole here with Radosic down.
Trying to get an experienced player out there as you're sitting in this locked-in 2-minute penalty if you're Fairfield. Uncostly turnover there, giving it right back to Stony Brook.
Down to 13 seconds left on the Radosic 2-minute unnecessary locked-in penalty. That one ripped off the post, kept alive by Young. That was Bonacci trying to wrap up the hat trick. We are back to even strength. Bonacci's got 5 points in this game. But again, with Radosic seemingly giving up his pole, Fairfield a little bit of a mix and match unit as that one is high and wide.
If you're this Fairfield defense, lock in for 35 more seconds on this shot clock. Try to cause a turnover. Give your offense some room to work in this fourth quarter.
Into the alley, Bonacci, there is the hat trick. His first of the season. And after a really long offensive possession that didn't see a second man-up goal on the locked-in penalty, still the work was put in. And Stony Brook lead by 7.
Bonacci extending the Stony Brook lead. Just a great step and rip from the top right corner of the field. 3 goals, 3 assists now for Bonacci on the afternoon.
And they're having fun out there. Also, shout out to the bench mob that Stony Brook has going on. No doubt there's going to be some outlet on social media that's going to probably cut up all of their bench celebrations and probably rank which would be the best of the day. The jousting one was good. Seen the bench press done a couple of times. I love the canoe one. Always a big fan of canoeing. Only been canoeing maybe once in my life, but you know,
really?
A little bit more than that. I was just trying to go for extending the truth. I've done it a couple times. I'm an Eagle Scout. Listen, we have to use all the skills. I like the jousting. Haven't seen that one put out the way that they've done it. Usually just people run at each other. They got on top of their backs and going for it.
You can tell this Stony Brook team practices those sideline celebrations. A lot to celebrate. 14 goals this afternoon. An explosion for this Stony Brook offense. And sneaky Kean McCoy, 5 assists on the afternoon to go along with 2 goals. He's had a lot of those assists on the extra man opportunities. Been a great facilitator for Stony Brook.
And the Stony Brook fans wanting another flag thrown on Radosic. You can hear that crack of the stick check from up here. Down to 10 on the clock. Williamson reverses. And Fairfield comes away with it. It's Nate Livingston. Fairfield have 5 seconds to get it across. They do. And now they just got to push tempo. Here's Shane Elliott who will step in and score. Just the second goal of the season for Shane Elliott.
If you're Fairfield, you're going to have to start to go to goal quickly. This is a good sign for Elliott. Gets it in transition, finds himself wide open in front of the cage. Now chasing 6 goals. If you're Fairfield, haven't had too much possession in this fourth quarter, so when you do get the ball, try to at least put a shot on cage. Force Wilk into a save.
It's a violation. This will be on Jonathan Lewis. So I was about to say, Brindley, was the fact that Fairfield, if you're trying to start any momentum and go straight to goal, you've got Lewis, who's been really solid today, but the violation will mean that Stony Brook can just eat more time off the clock.
Yeah, you think any Stony Brook possession, they're going to waste at least a minute on the clock unless they have something going in transition.
Oh, nice inside move, but Hirsch able to fight that one off. There was a lot of traffic in front of Hirsch. And again, Fairfield are going to push tempo with Eli Adams.
Going to have to find some offense quickly if you're Fairfield. Start dodging hard towards cage, try to draw some slides.
And Consoli finds Shauna Kupski, forces a save out of Wilk, who's not nearly had as much to do in the second half as he did in the first, where he made 9 saves, just his 4th of the second half. More going underneath. Here comes Consoli. Moore runs into 3. Fairfield again reset. Obviously, Brindley, we've talked a ton about Wilk in goal, but the Stony Brook defense is locked in ever since the beginning of the beginning of the second quarter. Fairfield got that early tally in the second period. They've only allowed 3 goals over the last half hour of the game. Plus, as flags come flying, it's a delayed man up to Fairfield. And now it's going to be touched up.
You mentioned the Stony Brook team. They've done their job giving Wilk the opportunities he wants to see in cage, causing some chaos for the Fairfield offense.
It's Fairfield with 3 goals over the game's last 37 plus.
And that one there, unlucky for Stony Brook. Getting the penalty. They were down to 8 on the shot clock. Going to cause Fairfield into another turnover, but now the Stags go a player up.
I can just reset again here. Fairfield got a man-up goal last quarter from KJ Delane.
30 seconds for holding at 7 minutes 44 seconds of the quarter.
Just a 30-second penalty on Ryan Dodge. Consoli in the alley. Devin Lampert, who has been held in check here this afternoon. Down to 5 on the man up. Moore reverses. Gilbert puts it away. Second goal of the afternoon for Jake Gilbert. This one on the man up.
Jake Gilbert, we saw in that third quarter that 1v4 ground ball leading to a goal. This time he finds the extra man opportunity. It's a great pass from Rob Moore, his 4th assist of the afternoon. Fairfield able to capitalize on the player up. Maybe that can kickstart some momentum, but gonna have to come at the face-off. Gonna have to start finding some wins here.
Again, we have seen crazier things. In fact, it has happened against Fairfield this season, where Fairfield gave up an 8-goal run late on against Sacred Heart. When I say late on, the goals came in the 4th quarter. So if you're Fairfield, if you can get this to a 4-goal game with about 5 minutes or so to go, the game is far from done and dusted.
Especially because goals in lacrosse can be scored so quickly from defense to offense, from face-off X to goal. If you're Fairfield here, can't be super patient or picky on your opportunities.
Yeah, they're gonna go now with Moore. Akopsky reverses. Good switch into the alley, but Consoli lost it. Big ground ball coming. And it is Consoli who gets it. It's still unsettled. Fairfield can go straight to goal, but a late slide from Hayden Whitney closes down the angle. Consoli, bouncer. Don't mind that selection. That took a really awkward hop.
Still 20 seconds to work with on the shot clock for Fairfield.
Oh, it's a bit of a hit, and the referee is, gonna say crease. Saying to the official that Rob Moore had a chance to stop himself. Whether he could or couldn't, it's beyond the point. Wilk. Now it's 6. And that's going to work out. Great lead pass ahead. And Stony Brook will wisely just hold on to it. Stony Brook on clears today are 11 of 17, so something that they'll have to work on when they get to film on Monday. A team that does clear on average at about 86%. They're just trying to use the clock here as Williamson. Again, going against LeMay, though this time Jason back with his regular stick after drawing the pole for that 2-minute locked-in penalty on Radosic. Shot goes high with 9 on the clock. Still enough time here. Williamson wraps it around, but Hirsch denies. That is now the 7th save of the afternoon for Owen Hirsch. Oh, but Fairfield turned it over. Look what I found, says Justin Panacci.
Has a stick in the passing lane, somehow ends up with the ball in his stick, and a fresh shot clock for Stony Brook to waste more time off the game clock.
It's a funny one when you put your stick up like that. You're not going through the motion, but you're at least trying to put any sort of resistance up, and then all of a sudden, hey, the 5% works out in your favor.
He almost seemed surprised the ball ended up in his stick.
For Stony Brook here, it just means taking more time off the clock. They'll get it to about 3:20 or so if they hold throughout. Down to 20. Bouncer goes in. Well, McCoy has had so many assists today. As you said, flies under the radar with this offense, but that's his hat trick wrapped up.
Hat trick to go along with 5 assists. This time catching Fairfield in a double team. He's able to beat those 2 defenders and just goes 1v1 with Owen Hirsch down the left-handed alley. Ian McCoy, just a career day. You look at the numbers across the entire Stony Brook offense. We talked about this team as a collective offensive unit, not putting up crazy numbers, not leading the CAA, but just doing it as a collective unit. But today, guys with 6, 8 points.
At 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
Quickly off the face-off, Andrew Caston puts it away. Fairfield needed to have an immediate response, and they got it. And Caston says, let's not celebrate, let's get back to the line and go again.
If you're Fairfield, gonna have to start playing make it, take it lacrosse, just going to goal, putting shots on cage as you're down 5 now with under 3.5 to go.
You talk about McCoy having a career day. In fact, his previous career best was against Fairfield in this game last year. 3 goals, 3 assists. Maybe it's something about just playing the Stags that gets the sophomore out of Levittown going. But a violation on Lewis will just give more opportunity for Stony Brook to whittle down the clock. Take it to the 2:10 mark.
Unassisted at 3 minutes, 28 seconds of the quarter.
If you're Fairfield, you have to start to look to double whenever you have the chance to do so. You can take 1 possession with heavy risk. And as I say that, it's just Caston and McCoy chasing each other's shadow. Now the doubles are coming as Hirsch has left his net. And a timeout is going to be taken. That is the final timeout for Coach Ghilardi. He took one on a man up back in the last quarter to get his group just a reset.
We'd like to thank our proud partners.
Stony Brook again at 4-4 in the league entering today. This is a group that in their first season in the CAA in 2023, they got to the conference championship game, missing the tournament in each of the last 2 seasons. The 24 season, actually the lowest win total that they had in their Division I era, just with 4, 7 last year, 5 already this year. And still with the back half of the league season to go, and playing 2 teams that are outside of the playoff picture. Brindley, it feels like postseason men's lacrosse will be pretty fired up over there on Stony Brook's campus. We always talk about the women's team being there and hosting usually the CAA tournament or any sort of conference tournament, but now it's both.
Now the men getting into that postseason picture. And if you're Fairfield, we're dropped to 1-2 in the conference, so now you're on the outside looking in of that CAA tournament. Still have to play CAA team leading Towson, improved to 2-0 today.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy one. It will come down to next week. You'd have to say if you're Fairfield with that game at Hofstra, that tends to be a swing game, the Monmouth game as well. But ultimately, if you want to get a conference title, you have to get into the tournament to give yourself a chance to believe. Fans from the first game, the women's game here earlier, coming back in for the second game, things that you love to see. This is not the last Fairfield lacrosse doubleheader that we'll have this season. That will be on the 18th. The men against Towson, and then the women against Marist. Crazy to think, though, that we haven't even gotten into the month of April yet, and we're almost done with our regular season broadcast schedule for lacrosse. There's 2 men's home games, 3 on the women's side. As again, Owen Hirsch is pulled out of his net, and Fairfield will get the ball back. Alex Meyer will find an outlet. Again, for Fairfield, it really just has to be shoot at will. As Lampern puts that off the side of the cage. And Wilk able to find a teammate, though, putting one of his poles into a trouble spot. That was Kyan East. Will Stony Brook get away with it? They might get another look here, and they will get one more. Cavalieri wrapping up his hat trick. 3 off 6 shots. Player that missed a large portion of non-conference play, showing the pedigree that he can also contribute with a Fairfield over the course of the league season.
Becomes the 4th Stony Brook player with a hat trick this afternoon. And if you're Fairfield heading into the back half of CAA play, going to have to want to figure out the goalie situation. You look at the goalie's numbers, not bad for both goalies in Landon Whitney, who started the first half, and then Owen Hirsch coming in the second half, making a combined 15 saves, saving it at 48%. It's just the volume of shots that Stony Brook was able to put on cage. 49 total shots. And their counterpart, Wilk, has been excellent on that side. 14 saves now.
Yeah, had to go down to kick that ball away. And what Wilk did in the first half, the 9 saves, is the flag will come out on Fairfield, so it'll be one more delayed man up. What Wilk did was just establish the precedent. You know, Fairfield were trying to shoot low on him from the moment go. He made some adjustments. And then when Fairfield started to get the ball up towards the corner, he was already ready, which is a mark of a veteran goalkeeper. And ultimately, at this time of the year, you need your goalie to come and win you a few games. And while the offense has been spectacular with the 4 hat tricks across the board for the Seawolves, Wilk has more than done his share.
And it was Fairfield in that first quarter who came out and threw the first punch offensively. Found 4 goals in that first quarter on Wilk. But then, as you mentioned, he settled into the game, starting to see the ball well. Came up with some great saves.
1-minute penalty on Jeremiah Wade for slashing. Stony Brook can elect to shoot if they want to, but they can also hold out and the game will be over. That pass knocked out of bounds. Be another 15 seconds of gameplay after the completion of the 1-minute penalty. Stony Brook team that was 5 for 5 on the man up. Also had that 2-minute penalty where they also picked up a goal. Will have their first fail of the game, but ultimately just a bit of a moot point. The Hail Mary nearly connects. With 1 second, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, or excuse me, 3 seconds, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, and that is going to do it as Stony Brook makes the trip across the Sound and knocks off Fairfield here at Rafferty Stadium by 16 goals to 10, backed off the 4 separate hat tricks from Williamson, Bonacci, Cavalieri, and the 8-point total day from Kean McCoy. That is going to be a happy trip, either all the way across, or maybe you jump on the ferry and get home. By the way, Brindley, a road win in league play plays big in just a 6-game conference schedule.
Stony Brook now moving to 2-1, sitting tied for second in the conference. Huge road win. You mentioned those 4 hat tricks, 4 different Stony Brook players. And then Tommy Wilk coming up with 14, huge save, just a complete performance for Stony Brook.
So that is going to do it for us here, completing a doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon after Fairfield women knocking off Canisius 12-9. It is Stony Brook men defeating Fairfield 16-10. Next time Fairfield men will be at home That will be in 2 weeks' time when they take on Holy Cross, set for a noon start on the Stag Sports Network. For our entire crew, for Brinley Anderson, I'm JJ Duke saying so long. You have watched a presentation of men's college lacrosse on the Stag Sports Network.